Forecast.
All right, there's the view outside our studios here on East Market Street. It was a lot different during the 5 o'clock hours. We watched those showers and storms come through, and yeah, they packed a punch for some. Other areas received a lot of rain, other areas not as much. The nature of summer storms as they impact the region. Let's take a look at a nice shot of a rainbow, and that captured by Marshall Faintick there in Crozet. A nice little shot there. Let's take a look at Doppler radar of where we are currently. We still have some active storms across southern Albemarle and portions of Augusta County, but here we are out toward areas like Rockfish and just south of Alberine, out toward Porters, McCullough, Scottsville, Hatton Ferry. That's all drifting off to the south and east, so that'll work into Buckingham County. Here we are in southern Augusta County. You can still see some recent lightning strikes out toward Greenville, Lofton, Cold Spring. That is drifting into Nelson and Rockbridge counties. And of course, rain from earlier prompted a couple of isolated flash flood warnings, most particularly in eastern Fluvanna County, especially near Cedar Lane Road. Doppler radar estimates of nearly 3 to 4 inches in that general area that you see shaded in the amber brown there. But again, 1 to 3+ inches were quite common. Kent Store, Stage Junction, and just to the east of Wilmington. Then another area that was hit hard was in west central Rockingham County, out toward Dale Enterprise. Report of a road closure here, some debris on the road. Now the flash flood warnings have been allowed to expire. You still may encounter some debris on the roads as some of those small creeks and streams go back in their banks. We also had some wind damage northeast of the city with some trees down. So there's a look at Doppler radar over the last several hours as some of these storms got going and moved through, and now things will begin to quiet down. Of course, we've been rain cooled. Of course, it remains humid. Temperatures again this afternoon were between 85 and 90 for many. Areas that have been untouched by the rain are still in the 80s, but most of us now are in the 70s. Overnight lows pretty much in the low 70s, a few upper 60s. There'll be some areas of fog to develop. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll kind of do it all over again with some scattered thunderstorms, upper 80s to around 90 for the highs. The chance of rain goes a little lower here on Friday and Saturday, but still remains in the forecast. Essentially, the front that we're watching just kind of weakens out as it moves into Friday and early Saturday. So that front tonight is still northwest of Columbus and northwest of Pittsburgh. Now we'll turn our attention to the tropics and the eastern Atlantic. That is Tropical Storm Erin, which is set to become the first hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season. By this weekend, it will be approaching the Leeward, Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. And while the model consistency has been pretty good, it's just the question of how close it gets to the East Coast. But most of the models do show it staying offshore. Again, winds now at 50 miles an hour. It's about 1,200 miles east of the Leeward Islands. And there we are as we get into the weekend. And then next week, we'll see it make that turn. There's Bermuda. There's the east coast of the U.S., and so it may split the uprights, if you will, and go right in between. There's some of the spaghetti plots showing you consistency of it staying together there and then moving off to the north with time, something we'll be monitoring. So as we get into tonight, showers fade away. Tomorrow we start dry, some afternoon storms. Again, coverage could be similar to today. I think less coverage here on Friday with temperatures back in the upper 80s to around 90. So here we are with showers fading away here tonight, warm and muggy with temperatures pretty much in the upper 60s and lower 70s, areas of fog. And there's a look at the Michael and Son 7-day forecast. Temperatures are pretty seasonable. The humidity remains high, and we'll hold on to those storm chances. Sunday back in the 90s for many locations.
All right, Eric, thank you.
And we'll be right back.